Welcome back to NFL Kings. Thank you all for joining us today as we break down the Week 12 matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Atlanta Falcons. Should be a pretty good game. The current spread, I believe, is at -3 for the Raiders, though it probably will be starting to trend more toward -3.5, maybe even -4 as we get closer to Sunday, with news breaking of Todd Gurley being out, Julio Jones missing Friday's practice, Grady Jarrett most likely being out as well. Potentially, that could be another question mark. Really, also being questionable. They're missing some key pieces in Atlanta. Obviously, you may want to wait until the final word on those injuries breaks as far as DFS plays and or picking the game. But we definitely, even without those injuries, we do favor the Raiders regardless. The biggest loss for the Raiders, obviously, Jacobs is going to play. I don't know if the defensive front with Farrell and McKinley going to be both out. Looks like obviously Trent Brown's still on the COVID list as well. They did okay without him last week, but that you definitely noticed at times Carr was pressured a little bit more on that side, more than he was pretty much all season. So that could be a factor in this game. Parker, the backup right tackles, grading out as one of the 5 worst right tackles, or all of tackles in football right now. So he's just not doing very good. So that is another major question mark. The guards are taking a step back to they were playing a little bit better earlier in the season for the Raiders, and now not quite as well. So that also could be a factor. However, Atlanta's front, especially if Grady Jarrett can't play, I really like the Raiders if Grady can't play. Just because up front they're going to get manhandled. Jacobs will have a big day. They'll be able to run and control the clock. And you look at the yards per play, 5.8. They're almost identical, very similar. Offensively, Atlanta's not really that bad offensively, although statistically they're not good. 22nd on third down compared to the number 1 third down team in football. Obviously, big factor could be the Raiders' defense. Obviously, not that good. Pretty much bottom third in a lot of statistical categories. That could play a huge factor in this game if they're not able to get off the field, giving up nearly 275 yards a game passing. That could be a huge factor in this game. Honestly, this could be a very scary game, and unless those injuries, unless Julio and Ridley and Jarrett play or don't play, I mean, obviously Gurley's not playing, so unless those guys don't play, this game could definitely still be a high-scoring game, especially if Julio plays, Atlanta's definitely still going to be in this game. They're going to score some points on this defense. It's not that great a defense. Turnover-wise, though, neither of these teams are really that bad. Yeah, Matt Ryan definitely throws more picks, but not like by that much. Penalties, you got a much better team. They don't give up that many penalties. 5.4, 5.8. It's not like that many. But they're still like middle of the pack compared to like top 10. They don't give up that many penalties. They force a lot of penalties too, which could play a huge factor in this game as well. Yeah, sack percentage. Jeez, they get no pressure on the quarterback, and neither of these teams get pressure on the quarterback, which is scary to think about as far as the offensive statistics in this game. The over could be in play here, especially some teaser overs. I think we'll definitely wait on that. Obviously, a 54, that's obviously a very big number. I don't necessarily recommend playing the over at 54, but just in general, you get it for like maybe 48. Do the 48.5 one, maybe the 46.5 one. Those are pretty much locks for this game, especially if Julio plays. They're locks if Julio plays. The question mark will be whether or not the Raiders are going to be able to get off the field on third down. That could be a big question. But Atlanta isn't really good at converting third downs either. So that's, nothing big. I'm missing some of the other stats. time of possession definitely favors the Raiders in this game. I already know that. There's not, we did a little bit lighter breakdown this week on some of these games. You look here, 1 loss, 2 as a favorite, as an away favorite, they're 2-0. Yeah, I mean, they're just not. Let's see. Yeah, they're not doing that well against the spread. The Raiders are one of the best teams against the spread this year. It's an away favorite, 2-0. Killing it. And the overs are hitting all day against the Raiders because their defense is not good. And even against Atlanta. That's why, honestly, that over is really, really looking good. But those injuries could play a factor. Maybe Atlanta doesn't score enough points if that's the case. You do like that Atlanta's playing better. I mean, they have 3 wins in their last 5, and their only loss was a game they should have lost to Detroit, and then obviously getting beat down by the Saints last week. I mean, Matt Ryan, that whole offensive scheme did not play well. Like, they just gave up on the run way too early in that game. Basically cost them the game. But they should have a decent enough bounce back game. But you do wonder. I mean, Atlanta doesn't have that bad of a rush defense, though. You do kind of wonder. They give up their top 10 rush defense. So that's why that could be a little bit scary. When you're talking about a team that likes to run the ball, to control the clock. This is just a big game for the Raiders. Like, they have to win this game to maintain pace. I definitely favor the Raiders. I'm not sure how much I would lay. I almost want to fade this game a little bit more now after looking at the numbers a little bit more. I might end up fading this game a little bit more than I had originally predicted. My original prediction was to bet the Raiders quite a bit, but now after looking at the numbers, this game is going to be a lot closer than I thought, depending upon if those guys play. If those guys don't play, this game will not be close. But if those 3 players play, I mean, those are 3 of the best players on their team, obviously. You're talking about their highest grade defensive player in Grady Jarrett, and literally 2 of their 3 highest running back graded. Obviously, their 2 receivers are their highest graded players, basically. Their offensive line is playing pretty good, actually. But, I mean, in that last game, they did not play well. That right tackle could definitely be had. X Crosby. Oh, God. It's just the Raiders defense is so bad. Ugh. It's so bad. Definitely worry about them. If Julio and Ridley play, this is a big, big stay away, honestly. They're just going to score so many points. Yeah, I feel like I want to do a teaser over at like 48.5. That's probably the best play, honestly. Looking at the over hits, too. Like, you see they're hitting a lot of these overs, folks. The only under was Denver. That's a good defense. And Cleveland, pretty decent defense in an ugly game. That game went under because of the weather, not because of anything else. Yeah, obviously, minus 26. That's literally the only reason why that went under. Their unders, shoot, at 54, they were unable to hit those. So when they start pushing 50, that's when the unders may start hitting there. When you start pushing 50. I think it's Denver that went over. You know what I'm noticing too is when it isn't a dome, they're more likely to go over. In most scenarios, man, how do you score 9 points against the New Orleans Saints though? Like, that's scary because you just gotta be better than that. Yeah. Alright, so our recommendation is definitely going to be leaning Raiders, leaning over, but not at 54. You're gonna have to teaser that down if you wanted to bet the over, or maybe even no. There's no way I would teaser up and bet the under. That'd be crazy if fade in a dome game with 2 bad defenses. There's no way you could do that. But teasing the under or teasing the over down in the 40s, if you drop it into the 40s, this game should pop into the 50s. So that'll definitely give you a little bit of leeway there. I feel a lot more comfortable with that. And obviously, definitely if Julio plays. And, he misses Friday practice a lot, so there's no guarantee that he's going to, and he practiced, on Wednesday, Thursday. So unless you tweak something extra, for me, I'm actually thinking that maybe they just give him a rest day, and that he will play. So we'll wait and see on that. I honestly recommend betting that on Sunday when all the information comes out. But I would lean toward that. If you get a teaser of Raiders plus 7.5, would that be insane? You won't get any payouts on that. Just there's no way I can feel comfortable betting the Falcons in this game in any way. The way they've been playing, the way their defense is set up. Honestly, some big plays for Ruggs maybe in line for a pretty good day. Aguilar should have a decent day in his matchup, although their first round pick for the Falcons is actually playing really, really pretty well right now. When AJ Terrell, he's playing pretty well. So Aguilar could have a decently tough day. But they just don't have a matchup for Waller, really. They can try and match him up with Deion Jones and this kid Walker, but I think they're gonna get crushed. He's been playing pretty good for them lately. This Walker kid, this rookie. But do they really think that he's gonna match up with Darren Waller? Yeah, I don't think so. We'll see. But I don't think he's gonna be able to. Yeah, so those are kind of the key question marks in this game. With the way, Sean Payton's offense is very similar to the offense they run in the Raiders. It's similar in a lot of respects, a lot of creativity, a lot of short passing game, get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback, looking for yards after catch. It's a very similar offense and a very similar scheme, but just great coaching. I definitely favor the coaching in the Raiders drastically over the coaching of the Falcons too. So that's a huge factor in this game as well. And another reason why we would lean Raiders here. There's just no way I can feel comfortable putting any money on the Falcons. If I'm going anywhere, it is the Raiders, and it is the over. If you can get it for anything under 50, that's personally where I would recommend. So good luck to all of you in the Week 12 matchups of this NFL season. I thank you all for watching. This is NFL Kings. Be sure to subscribe for more content, as we will be uploading more and more content each and every week as we break down the best bets and best matchups to be putting your money out each and every week. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.